Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I lost my voice, so if I sound like a prepubescent teenage boy, that's why. It also doesn't help that I'm literally on T and my voice started to drop and then I lost my voice because I got into a screaming match with my partner's transphobic racist dad. Yay! Which that's a story for another time because I don't want to tell it until my partner's comfortable with me sharing it. I hope all of you guys have had a great week, hopefully uneventful, hopefully none of you argued with your in-laws because, you know, it's not really that fun. But if it's deserved, then go off, kings and queens. And they-thems. I thought today's video would be a little bit different. I thought we'd take a break from my mom and talk about something else, aka the first time I got grifted at school. Yeah, that's right, this is when I learned about karma at the ripe age of 6 years old in the first grade, okay? And this is one of those rare times I couldn't call my mom to come up and help me because if she found out what I did, I was gonna be in trouble. And I didn't want to get in trouble because that mean I'd get at home because my parents were really emotionally underdeveloped and so they would parent by us instead of, you know, getting on our level and talking to us like you should do. Corporal punishment on your kids registers the same in the brain as SA. Look it up. That is a study done by Harvard. And people at Harvard are way smarter than you and I, so if they're saying this, then I believe it. Stop hitting your kids. Talk to them like a human being. Because it's illegal to go up to a stranger that makes you mad on the street and smack them on the behind. So why are you doing that to your kid? Also, my hair is bothering me lately. I just don't know what to do with it. It's at like that awkward point of growth. I kind of just want to leave it swoop like this. But I don't know if people in the comments are going to be like, Jess, why the hell is your hair like that? I don't know. Let my money pieces make out with each other, okay? I don't see an issue. Sometimes I can make it so it looks sort of like a heart, but I can't get my hair up here to stay lately, so it is what it is. Anyway, this is a fun little story because I'm gonna have a bigger video about my top surgery, titled I Had Top Surgery. I know I made a YouTube short about that, but I have a long form video that I've been working on of me sharing the process with every stage before and after. I film myself during healing, and I even recorded during my doctor's appointment of me getting my drains removed, and I want to share that with you guys because I know a lot of people are really scared about drain removal and just having drains when you get a double mastectomy, whether it's because you have cancer, because you just don't like your chest, or because you're trans. I just think it's important to share that, so that's going to be in that video. But this one, like I said, is more lighthearted, and it's about the time that I stole and then immediately got karmic revenge by the world, and then scammed, quite frankly scammed by this other kid in my class. What the frick? We're gonna call this girl... This story I'm about to tell you happened in literally 2004, so this was 21 years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm old. I was 6 years old, I was in the first grade, or maybe I was 7 at this point, because you turned 7 in the first grade. And my teacher in first grade was not very reasonable. She was a lot older, honestly, like a few years from retiring, so she was kind of done with little kids, okay? If you bothered her, she'd let you know. If there was a problem, she would pick a side and wouldn't always hear out every child, so you might end up getting in trouble for something you didn't do. You know, I would have to flip my card for things that I didn't do. I'd like to make a YouTube video about this teacher. Maybe that'll be next week's video because it's just so entertaining. I'll just go ahead and say this teacher's name. It was Mrs. Ruff, like R-U-F-F, not rough, but Ruff. It's weird. I used to call her Mrs. Roof all the time because I couldn't say rough, and she used to get really mad by that. She's like, it's rough. Say rough, and it's like, you're a rough teacher to have. That's all I know. I know some kids barked at her when she would make them mad. They'd just be like, because honestly, like, she would act like a yapping dog sometimes. Lady was not cut out to be a first grade teacher. Anyway, in first grade, we went on a lot of field trips, and my mom would chaperone for a lot of them, so she chaperoned at this one. And at this one, we went to Dawes Arboretum, which is an arboretum in the town where I grew up in, Lancaster, a little bit of ways. I think it's like somewhere near Circleville. I'm not really sure. I just drove by the exit for it the other day. This arboretum, though, has a really awesome gift shop, and they had a bunch of little toys and books and keychains and stuffies, and I really wanted one of these little figurines of this yellow and black frog, okay? It was really cute, and I already picked out a name for him. I was gonna call him Thunder, all right? And I'm like, surely my mom will let me get this little frog figure because he's probably like $1. So I go looking around for my mom, and I ask her, hey mom, can I get this souvenir from the gift shop? A reasonable thing to ask. My mom, she's in a bad attitude, probably because she's been dealing with little 6 and 7 year olds all day. But why would you chaperone if you hate kids? I don't know. Yeah, that's right. My mom that tried to unalive me when I was 13 would chaperone a lot, and she was also a babysitter. I know, it doesn't make any sense. It's all about the mask they want to portray. I'm a great mom. I love kids. I'm so attentive. I show up at the school and help out with the class. That's my mom. She would literally donate some of my toys to the toy drive, even though we were poor ourselves and living under the poverty line. She would donate my toys just so that it would look like we were helping out in the fundraisers at school. And I would have to go donate a bunch of my books, a bunch of my toys that I wasn't really ready to give up yet because she wanted me to be the one that donated the most. And she would literally get in a competition with me and this other boy in the class whose mom was also also living through him. Difference was they were rich, so they would literally go to Goodwill, books that were already donated for free. They would buy them, bring them to the school, and redonate them just because they were rich and had the money, and she wanted her son to get all the awards. And my mom would compete with that mom and her kid, and I want to do a story time about him too because he was my first boyfriend, and we used to compete so much. This is all why my mom would be a chaperone though, because she wanted to compete with the other moms to seem like the most attentive mom. So it's just like, of course she's probably going to get me a souvenir, because why wouldn't she? Don't you want a happy kid on field trip day? But my mom had a stick up her butt by the end of the day because she hates kids, so the mask was faltering. So she said, no, go put that overpriced figurine back, because it probably wasn't $1. I think it was like $5, which for 2004 for a little figurine is a lot. Or maybe it was like $3. I don't know. It was like somewhere between the range of $2 and $5, and my mom just didn't want to have it. So she told me to go put it back. And at this point, at 6 years old, I've seen a lot, okay? I get in trouble at home for just breathing wrong. And it's like, dang it, I was good all day, just like my mom asked me to be. Don't embarrass me, you know, I'm gonna be a chaperone. You better not embarrass me or you're in trouble when we get home. I was good all day, so I wouldn't be in trouble when I got home. So dang it, why can't I have this little freaking frog figurine? You know, maybe my mom had just said no to something. Maybe I'd been told no a lot. And I realized in that moment, I can take this. I've never stolen before, but I can take this. I'm thinking of this story where my brother took a candy bar from the store and put it in his pocket, and he got caught, and he had to go back inside and return it and apologize to one of the cashiers. Well, what if I put this in my sock, in my shoe, and shove it way far down and just don't get caught? Because I have a bunch of these toys at home, so if I can get this little frog home, my mom won't be able to distinguish it as new once it's with my other froggy figures, because she doesn't know all my toys and doesn't give a shit. So how would she tell? Something I just have to get this home safely from the bus to our house without my mom catching on, and then I'm good as gold. So I slipped this little black and yellow frog figurine into my shoe, and I'll put a picture up here if I can find the exact figure. I slip it into my sock in my shoe, and I don't tell anybody except my friend Katie. I'm like, come here. And she's like, what? And I'm like, fuck. And I point down at my sock. She's like, and I'm like, yeah, shh. I successfully get on the bus. I pull out the frog figure on the bus because I'm cheeky, I'm impatient, and we start playing with it. Don't get caught on the bus either. My mom's sitting at the front. She doesn't care what I'm doing. She's just happy that the day's over because she hates kids. We get back to school. I'm excited. I'm showing my friends. I go home with my mom. I play with that frog figure at home. I call him Thunder. My plan works. My mom can't distinguish him from the rest of my toys. She didn't even look at which one I wanted, so she had no idea. I play with it, have a great time, and I should have left it at that. But this is where I go wrong. I decided to take it to school the next day. Here's the thing about first graders. If they see something they like that they want, they take it. Because just like me stealing from the store, we don't have morals yet. We don't have right and wrong. We think, I want that. It's not fair that you have it. I want it, so I'm going to take it so that I can have it because I like it and I want to be happy. So I take Thunder, my little frog, to school, and I'm showing all my friends. And I'm showing this girl, Mackenzie, and she's a set of twins, you know, and they're both sweet. We're just little snot-nosed kids, so we're assholes. She really was fascinated with my frog figure, and I come to find out later that she likes figurines too. She likes Littlest Pet Shop. She likes mini stuff for Barbies just like I do. She likes squishy frog figurines just like I do. So when she looks at me like showing everybody this frog that she wants, and then also sees me leave it on my desk and walk away to sharpen my pencil, she sees an opportunity, because all I know is my little Thunder was on my desk and I walked away to sharpen my pencil, and I come back and he's gone. And I'm like, where is he? And I'm asking everybody, has anyone seen my frog I just had? You know, that I was showing off to everybody. This is why you don't show off things that you have. You keep things that you like at home. Things that you risk your life stealing. Keep those at home, okay? Don't push your luck. Nobody would bend. Nobody would tell me where it went. And I'm like, what the heck? I know I didn't drop it. He was right here on my desk and now he's gone. And I go home sad that day. I'm like, oh man, I went through heck and back to get this little frog. You know, I would have got my butt bruised if my mom caught me, you know, and it humiliated. I made to return that in front of everybody. Apologized to my class even for being a thieving classmate and embarrassing us during the field trip. My mom would just have flamed me just to seem like such a great mom for stopping a little thieving kid, even if it's her own. So I'm like, dang it, I went through that for nothing. Fast forward the next day, Mackenzie makes the same mistake I did when you steal something. You don't bring it back to the place where you stole it from. She brings it back to school. I see it in her hand, showing other kids in our class. And so I get mad and I'm like, hey, that's my frog. And she's like, no, it's not. I just got him yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, from me. No, he's mine. He's mine. And I say to the other kids in the class that are standing around, don't you guys remember me literally showing you this frog yesterday? And they're like, well, yeah, but she says that you stole it from her. No, I didn't. I stole it from the souvenir shop, but I can't say that. What the hell? And I go back to my desk and I'm thinking, I'll just steal it back. Surely she'll leave the frog on her desk just like I did. I'll just steal it back. And eventually that's what happened. She got up to go sharpen her pencil, get a drink, use the bathroom, whatever, ask the teacher a question, pick her nose. I don't give a shit, Mackenzie. You got up and I stole my frog back, dang it. The moment her ass left that chair, that frog was in my hand. Well, you know what happens? She comes back, finds it gone, looks at me, because obviously who else would take it other than the person that it belonged to before you. And she's like, you took my frog. And I'm like, you mean my frog? And she's like, nuh-uh, it was mine. I'm gonna tell. Go ahead, because it's mine. Well, she tells Mrs. Ruff. Mrs. Ruff calls us up there, and she had a whole system for this. She's like, okay, you both think it's your frog, fine. I'm gonna call each your parents, and I'm gonna tell them that one of you is missing your frog toy. Your parents know which toys you have because they bought it for you. So if your parent doesn't know what toy I'm talking about, I'm gonna know it's not yours. You're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna flip your card in front of everybody. And I'm thinking, oh shoot, she can't call my mom. Mrs. Ruff looks at us and she goes, are each of you okay with me calling your mom over this? Mackenzie, are you okay with it? And Mackenzie's like, yeah, you can call my mom. I have a bunch of those at home, and she knows that. And then Mrs. Ruff looks at me and she's like, Jessica, can we call your mom? Are you okay with that? And I'm like, on the spot, I'm panicking because I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of these at home, but part of me was like, what if my mom, if she's called in here to look at this figurine, knows that she never bought me that one and knows it's from the gift shop? What if by chance she knows it's from the gift shop? I can't risk that because my mom's not normal like Mackenzie's mom. If Mackenzie got caught in a lie, she'd probably just get told at home how disappointed they were and not get dessert that night. If I get caught in a lie, my hair's getting pulled, my butt's getting hit with the belt because that's what my parents would use. I'm losing a bunch of my things that I enjoy, toys, privileges. I'm not going to so-and-so's house. So I panic and I go, no, I guess not. And Mrs. Ruff is like, yeah, that's what I thought. Don't lie about things that aren't yours. And she gives my frog to Mackenzie. And Mackenzie is like, takes it back and she's smirking. And it's just, oh my freaking God, I hated this kid in this minute. And it's kind of funny because we later became friends. I go back to my desk feeling defeated and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to try to steal it back again because this is crap and I want my frog back. So I wait again for Mackenzie to get up again and she does. And I go around and I steal the frog out of her desk and I put it in mine. Well, the moment I do that, she goes up and tattles on me again. And Mrs. Ruff is like, Jessica, give the frog back. Well, I put it in my pocket really quick so nobody can see it. And I'm like, I don't have it. And they go looking around for it. And I'm like, well, eventually they're going to ask to check my pockets. So I take it out of my pocket and I drop it underneath the desk. And then I go, oh, look, I think it's right there on the floor. Mackenzie grabs it off the floor. And she's like, oh, like, yay, I found it. And Mrs. Ruff is looking at me up and down. I feel like I know what you just did. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry that I'm trying to steal my toy back that I stole. You know, like, this is like a stupid situation to be in. I should have just let it go. I stole the frog. The frog got stolen from me. That's my punishment. But no, I wanted Thunder back, okay? He was yellow and black and really cool. The coolest frog I had. That's why I wanted him so bad. So I'm like, what can I do? And by the way, this is all happening right before summer vacation. So in like 3 days from now, we're not coming back to school for first grade anymore until we're in second grade. So I'm like, I have a few days to get this frog back. The next couple of days, Mackenzie didn't even bring the frog to school. I would ask around, hey, has she shown any of you the frog? No, we haven't seen it. So I'm like, crap, what am I gonna do? If you get a cool new toy and it's the last day of school, you're probably gonna bring that to school on the last day because it's your last chance to show it off. So I'm like, she's gonna bring it on the last day, and that's when I'll strike because I had a plan. All right, last day of school comes, lo and behold, she brings Thunder there. She's showing everybody the frog. I go up to her at the end of class because I feel like the teacher was the most busy at that time, packing us all up for the year, that she wouldn't be concerned about this frog shit. So if I got tattled on for what I was about to do, she wouldn't have time to punish me. So I go up to Mackenzie and I'm like, hey, listen, we both know whose frog that is. How about this? You give it back to me, and next year in second grade, I bring my whole collection in, and you can have your pick of my collection, however many you want, if you give me that back. The reason I offer this is because what are the chances in second grade that A, she's in my class, and what are the odds that B, Mackenzie's little pea-sized brain would remember this ultimatum that I made, this bargain for my own toy back? What are the odds that she would remember? So when she goes, yeah, okay, that sounds like a great idea. I give you your own toy back that I stole, and I get like a bunch of new toys that are better than it from you? Fuck yeah. And she hands it to me. And I go home on the bus with Thunder all cheesy and happy because I got my toy back. And I didn't care that Mrs. Ruff thought I was a thief, that I was lying to her face when she wanted to call our parents, because I knew I would never have her as a teacher again. And I also knew that she was going to die soon. Well, fast forward to second grade. I go to school to Mrs. May's class. And guess who's sitting in there? Mackenzie and her twin sister. And guess who comes up to me and is like, oh my God, hey, we were in Mrs. Ruff's class last year. Remember what you said on the last day? And I tried to play coy. I tried to play dumb. What? No? I don't even remember you, girl. What are you talking about? You must be mistaking me with some other blonde. No, remember what you said on the last day when I gave you that frog back? You said that you'd bring your whole collection. You got to bring it tomorrow. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to start out second grade with everyone thinking I'm some lying, scammy bitch. I'll bring my collection. I go home and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I told her I'd bring the best of my collection. And then I thought, well, she doesn't know what my collection looks like. This isn't 2025 where I'm taking pictures of my toys after Christmas and birthdays and sending them to my friends. This is 2005. So she doesn't know what my collection looks like. She doesn't know what I got. So I'm thinking, I'll just bring all of the lamest squishies that I have. The ones that are generic that you get from like the Pizza Hut machines when you put a quarter in and twist it and get the plastic ball and there's a squishy in it. I'll bring all of those lame ones and let her get a pick of my lamest ones and claim that those are my best ones. And that's what I did. I brought my Oreo 10 to school. I had like 7 really lame squishies in it, and I was like, here, you can have all of these. Oh, this is this is the best that you have? Like, they weren't even like the frog that she stole. They were just those like squishy things. They're almost like those fidget squishies that you would squeeze, just shaped like salamanders, shaped like frogs. And the toy that she stole was an actual like rubber figurine that would keep its form, like figurine that you could play with, not these squishy things. Technically, I wasn't lying. I'm not a fraud because I said I would bring her the best of my squishies collection, not of my frog collection. So when she was like, this isn't really what you said, I was like, yeah, it is. These are my squishies. This is what I meant by squishies. I didn't say I was going to bring you my other rubber frogs. And her face fell, and I could see the gears turning, and she realized that I was right. Neither of us knew what semantics were, but I was using them to my advantage. And this little girl just, her shoulders came down, and she just took the squishies that I gave her, and I went home with a smile. And I would end up becoming friends with this girl because we would trade with each other. We would trade LPSs, we would trade stuffies, and my mom would sometimes not want to buy me stuff because she'd be like, you're just going to go trade it at school. And it's like, and so what if I did? If you buy it for me, it's mine. I'm allowed to trade it. Once it's mine, I can do what I want with it. Now, obviously, if I was taking a DS to school and trying to trade that, that's different. But I'm just talking a $5 stuffed animal, okay? Or a little LPS figure. If I want to trade that, who cares? We would end up doing that and end up getting in trouble with Mrs. May and stuff. Yeah, that was me learning karma really quick. I stole something when I was told no. And then that got stolen from me and I couldn't do anything about it, or people would find out that I stole. But yeah, I just thought this would be kind of a lighthearted, silly one before I get into more messed up stuff. I hope you guys had a really great week. It's getting really close to Halloween, so I'm going to do some spoopy videos. I want to share the time I heard a skinwalker in the woods, or it might have been a mountain lion, to be determined, and also the time I saw a shadow person with my own eyes when I was a kid, and no one believed me. I would really appreciate it if you went to an awards ceremony with the subscribe button, and then when they get called up for their award, stick your foot out and trip them so they fall in front of everybody. I think that would be just great. It would really help me a lot. Hit that like button so that the algorithm loves my video, because every view helps me towards my goal of having a home of my own. I want one, and the American economy sucks, and I really appreciate it. Every comment helps. Every minute you stay here helps, and I just hope that you guys love my story times as much as I do. I'm going to make more scary stories, like I said, more stuff about my mom, and more trans stuff I'm going to post every other day. On that note, I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.